got stuck in there? Looks like the bottom of a glass. It's Boccherini, no doubt about that. Although the one I remember was more together. The murderer tore Boccherini's hands off. Boccherini's teeth were all pulled out. Hands ripped off, teeth torn out. I guess I'll have to rule out criminal intent or a personal angle. Boccherini's eyes still haven't shown up. What if I look for whatever was used to remove them? What looks like the bottom of a broken glass buried in Boccherini's back. The blood comes from the other side of the corridor and ends next to the body. He was attacked in the other room and dragged to the hall. The evidence suggests that the events began in the lounge. How did Boccherini encounter his murderer? Whatever crushed the table must have been really heavy, or maybe it was thrown extremely hard. A perfectly circular dint, as if someone had tried to hammer in a gigantic bolt, around 4 inches in diameter. Fingernails scratched the wood. Blood ran like water. Did it break during the struggle, or was it already broken? What kind of person takes off a wristwatch without unfastening it? Or fastens the strap again after taking it off? Blood. Blood everywhere. Two pools of blood, one on either side of the dining room table. A broken table, scratched and covered in blood. Two pools of blood, one on either side. The trail of blood. This was opened recently. Smells of whiskey. Glass on the floor indicates the window was broken from outside. There's something under there. How'd it wind up under there? Not one round fired. It must have happened fast. What is it with Italians and olives? They lap those things up like caviar. Like a true bachelor, you should have put these into soak. Hours of scraping to get them clean. Although at this stage, I don't think Boccherini's too worried about that. 4 glasses. 2 of water, 2 of wine. I've always been a whiskey man, but I know a good wine when I see one. Leftover lasagna, and it looks good. Why is it that 2 out of 3 Italian gangsters are great cooks? I'll never understand what the deal is with them and cooking. The plates and the glasses leave no room for doubt. Boccherini had company for dinner. One knife's missing, the biggest one. Shut from the inside. Dirty plates, glasses, and silverware from a dinner for two. A broken whiskey glass found in the back. An open bottle of whiskey. What looks like the pieces of glass from the window in the hall found inside the house. Dirty plates, glasses, and silverware from a dinner. A door in the kitchen. A pistol, fully loaded. I'd say Boccherini was drinking in the dining room when his assailant burst in through the window. Boccherini pulled his gun, but the murderer disarmed him before he could shoot. Where did the torture begin? Two pools of blood, one on either side. A broken table, scratched and covered in blood. What looks like the bottom of a blood-stained wristwatch, where the bloodstains show that the murderer began to torture Boccherini on the dining table itself. That was where his hands were torn off. As a result, his wristwatch fell to the ground. How did the body reach its current position? The trail of blood from the dining room. What looks like the bottom of a broken whiskey. Dirty plates. A door in the kitchen. What looks like the bottom. Takes a strong man to tear that out. Or several. Jammed shut from the inside. Maybe between the two of us when Milton gets back. If I'm not mistaken, this door opens onto the same room as the locked door in the kitchen. Blood and some kind of sticky liquid. Oh shit. I should have stayed in my diner. Body? Well, at least I know why his teeth were pulled out, more or less. What is that? Looks like a ritual. What was Boccherini mixed up in? This car looks too classy for a forger like Boccherini. Are there sufficient reasons to believe that when the murderer attacked Boccherini, there was someone else in the house? The first possibility to be ruled out is that the car belonged to Boccherini. Vermont plates. Someone drove a long way. Let's take a look in the glove compartment. Bingo. A man's cigarette case. OB. One of the Boccherini clan? A car with Vermont plates. The initials OB on a cigarette. One, it has Vermont plates. 2, it's too luxurious for a criminal of his standing. 3, the initials on the cigarette case don't match his name. The next possibility that needs to be ruled out is that the car was stolen. There should be evidence that there was someone else in the house. A door in the corridor jammed shut. It opened. A door in the dirty plates, glasses, and silverware. The dirty dishes and glasses prove that Boccherini ate lasagna with one other person. Was Boccherini's guest still in the house when the murderer showed up? A door in the kitchen. A broken whiskey glass found in the dining room. A teaspoon stained with blood and the lamp torn off its brackets. A door in the corridor. What looks like the bottom of a broken... It seems clear that Boccherini and his guest were drinking when the murderer took them by surprise. The real question is, what happened to the witness? Did they escape? Did the murderer take them? Or are they still in the house? A door in the corridor jammed shut. A door in the kitchen locked. One locked door could be a coincidence, but 2 locked doors which open onto the same room can't be. Either I'm completely wrong, or the witness is in that room. But I need Milton to open one of those doors. A sick altar of human... A teaspoon... Some kind of symbol... The lamp, torn off its Boccherini, already minus hands, was dragged into the hall, where the murderer used the brackets of the lamp to complete his macabre diorama. A teaspoon stained with blood and some kind of mixture of sticky liquid and blood can only mean one thing. The spoon was used to remove Boccherini's eyes. The mutilations and the disappearance of his eyes suggest 2 possible motives. Psychopathy or cultist fanaticism. Which is it? A sick altar of some kind of symbol drawn in blood. Although I don't know the origin of the symbol in the bathroom and the altar of flesh and teeth, I'd say the motive was some kind of occult religion. The big question is, who did it?
Mr. Ness, can you open the door for me?
It was open. Why did you ring?
I thought I should use the doorbell, so I wouldn't startle you.
When I came in, I pressed the doorbell and it didn't work.
Well, in light of the facts, I deduced that it was your finger that wasn't working. So, what can you tell me to restore my faith in you as a detective?
What is that?
Not a good start. It's a camera, so Alphonse can see all this.
All right. Follow me. Boccherini had company for dinner. Someone from Vermont with the initials OB. Someone whose social status was a lot higher, but who was on the same side of the law. He served lasagna, and after clearing away the dishes, they opened a bottle of whiskey in the dining room. That was when the murderer burst in on them, coming through the window which he broke with his own body weight. Boccherini, or maybe his guest, pulled a gun, but it was a waste of time. The murderer was so fast he was disarmed before he could fire. He focused his attention on Boccherini, totally ignoring the guest, and lifted him up into the air. He then threw him against the dining room table so hard that one of the glasses of whiskey was embedded in Boccherini's back. He span around, clawing at the table, and immediately afterwards the murderer ripped off his hands.